So it might be us, right? And if people come in, then I'll let them in. Let me just take a minute because I've been sitting with a lot since this morning. So I want to invite you to sit with what you are for a moment. I hope you can all hear me well. You may close your eyes, you don't have to. If you don't close your eyes, you can do two things. You can just watch, like, between the half closed eyes outside to nothing, actually, just peek through. That might be quite it sometimes doesn't bring you the peace or the restfulness. So I think it's better to open the eyes if you're not able to close them, and just look at nothing in particular. Just maybe settle your eyes on something that doesn't bring any thoughts forward so whatsoever. And maybe you normally close your eyes and you discover now that closing your eyes is not the same for you this day. Like I experience a little difference in what I normally do. Normally I find instant peace. Now it's a little bit different. Just noticing that. Don't try to do anything. Notice what's in the way of you being here, receiving what is necessary to receive. And just see that's in the way. Maybe it's more a felt sense. It could be that you feel agitated or a little restless in the body, maybe a little contraction, resistance. It comes in different shapes and forms. It's just to be aware of it. What's in your system and what's around you that keeps you from being present. And I'd like you to take on a different perspective. Look at it from this helicopter view, like circling around, like 10 meters above your own head, and see this person, see this Cindy, Christine, see this Verena, Adrian, Bart, Rut, Vicky, Crystal. See it from this perspective of the helicopter. See yourself sitting. Feel the distance. You're not the helicopter, but you can take on any perspective. It's just to create a little bit of distance, to watch yourself. What are you with? What is this person with? What can you tell about the nervous system? What can you tell about the way that this person is sitting? Just be with it. Preside. Which doesn't mean you do anything at all. You just sit with it, being present. You might notice the feelings and the stories and the emotions that are in that person, the person that is you. It's the microscopic expression of the energy of all. That is you, this body, this mind, this world of feelings, stories, the wants and the want nots, the shoulds and the shoulds nots. Just overlook everything from this helicopter perspective. And you know what? This helicopter has a great ability to be in your mind, in your body, and also to look at you from a distance. And at the same time, communicate with this bigger mind, this bigger body of knowledge, this bigger intelligence that created all. And maybe, just maybe, you can look at yourself from this perspective. And how you are in your life, this little speck in the universe, experiencing life as it is now, ever changing. And maybe you can feel that from this perspective, all is well. And so then we go down to the helicopter point of view, and we go down to the person with that feeling, that what we observed, noticed. Maybe it feels a little bit different. And whatever is in the way now, just put it aside for a moment. Maybe it'll be there after the session. Or maybe not. Just take a moment. And notice what comes up. Maybe there's something else coming to life, surfacing. Maybe there's a different feeling. A word maybe, a thought, an image. How does it make you feel? Relax your face. Relax the jaws and the hinges of the jaws. Relax the mouth and the lips. Relax your tongue and the base of the tongue. Let go of your lower jaw. And feel how the rest of your face wants to join. Let go of the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Feel the weight of your hands. Drop the chest. Relax the belly. The pelvis. Both legs, upper leg, knees, calves, ankles, feet, and toes. Feel the weight of your feet on the floor. Feel your whole body. And notice any sensations or state of being that might have changed from when we began to close our eyes. Now breathe in a little deeper and sigh the breath out. And do that a couple of times in your own pace. And when you're ready, you open the eyes and really observe, really notice what happens when you go from inside to outside. Stay aware of your body and how it feels, and maybe stay aware of the weight of your arms in your lap or your feet on the floor. And really also notice maybe the urge to move. Just keep your body as still as you can and just notice that urge. Notice the urge to maybe not look outside, afraid to create that difference from being with yourself and being with others. And then just have a look at the people, the faces. What do you see? What are you thinking when you see what you see? What are you feeling when you notice? Maybe there's a tendency to look at someone special. What is the story? What is your thinking about that person? Oh, that's a nice color. I wonder what's that in the background. Does she have new glasses? I like that face. She looks sad. I wonder what's happening. She looks cheeky. I wonder what's happening. Just notice what you make of it when you look at all these faces. Because you are thinking a lot. And you believe every word you're thinking. I could do a whole hour or two about what happens between being with yourself from different standpoints and being with others. I could talk a lot about this transition that we make. We make that every day. We go from inside to outside, and we even think that there is such a thing as outside. Outside of our bodies, outside of the other side of our eyes. And sometimes we feel trapped inside and we look outside for help. And sometimes we feel free inside and feel trapped outside. And sometimes our heads are so full, there's no room for anything new. So I just want to start with, I already shared a little bit about that, a sneak preview that there's a lot going on in my mind and I'm not even sure what it is. But this helps me. It helps me to get a little bit more perspective and not get caught in the story. And it's something that that I have to tell myself. I have to tell myself, I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to do that. And I'm just going to take on that perspective because it is helping me. So that's what I wanted to say. And I've prepared a little bit for today, but first I want to invite you to maybe share a little bit about this experience. Maybe this was the first time for you. I know it wasn't the first time, but yeah, if this would be a bigger group of people that are quite unexperienced with this sort of thing, then that would be the first time maybe. But maybe someone wants to open up this circle of wisdom and share a little bit about their experience. Good.
Yeah, I would like to share what I was feeling. The sensations I had was there was sizzling and fizzling. I don't know all the English words. And especially in my hands and arms, but it grew all over my body. And I had the feeling of expansion. And when I opened my eyes, it didn't go away immediately, but there was a little bit of shrinking, or it was less intense. Yeah, as if there's a little bit like big and a little bit like this. Yeah.
And how is it now when you share?
It's not completely gone. I still feel it in my hands and arms, and when I'm feeling it and or giving it attention to it, I feel it in my legs as well.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it's there's still feeling is still there,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
it's growing again.
Okay, so what made it grow in that instant?
The attention I gave it.
The attention you gave it. So it was
Mm.
like a focus.
Yeah.
Mm. It's interesting because what happens when you focus on something? Like
Um,
when you do the same with a camera, you know, you focus on a person that is up close, what happens to the rest?
the rest is fading away or is no longer
Mhm,
in the focus.
mhm.
Mhm.
So when you focus on the rest instead of what's in front of you,
And then
is that something that we normally usually do as people?
mhm,
No. And that's what you did. At least that's what I heard.
mhm,
When you focused on that expansion, it became bigger. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Now this might sound like a yeah, you're right, you know, yeah, of course. But it's essential. It's essential in our day-to-day lives. If you would only like notice this little bit, it would change your life. And it would give you the ability to go in and out of focus whenever you want. And I could ask more questions, Ruth, about what happened in that moment, but it's not about that today. So, yeah, thank you. Anyone else? And please do not censor yourself like, oh, yeah, but what I have to say is like beginner's language, you know. I love beginner's language. I love that. Verena.
Okay. Um, I felt a lot of movement in my body. In the beginning, the sound was very low, and I'm working with a computer, it's not mine. And I was like, I want to put it louder, I want to put it louder. And then you said, just look at it and let it. But it was so difficult to just let it. And I was a bit angry with myself, or like, you have to be earlier. You knew that it started at 10. um, so there was discussion inside of me, like, put it louder, then you can follow. No, I'm not going to do it. um, and the same with my book and stuff I want to have close to me. So I felt a lot of movement. And the moment I opened my eyes, everybody was so quiet, not moving. And I felt like, oh my God, this is so still. I want they move a little bit. Start breathing again. um, so, yeah, I was wondering why, or would it be the same? It's is it possible to be there without being so moveless, or is
Yeah, without movement. Yes. Is
uh,
it possible to be there without feeling the movement, or what do you mean?
mm, I mean, like bringing us here with a perspective, watching ourselves, and then making contact outside. You asked if you feel movement, just feel it and don't change it. Just observe. So when I watched outside, I just saw people sitting still. And I'm wondering that can we be just here aware and move without losing the contact?
Yeah, it's a great question, Verena. And actually, you know, I asked people to sit still because that was the posture that I wanted to have people in to experience anything they experience. Because we use movement to distract ourselves lots of times. We use movement to communicate. We use movement for different reasons, also to move from A to B. So we are not with what we're actually with. Like people that are running around like crazy, like a chicken without a head. That's how we say it in Dutch. I don't know if that's an expression in, okay. We're always in the future, always moving on the move, and we're never there. We're never where we are. And although it might feel good because we're doing something and we're on the move, you're totally not present to the inside. So your question is about, can we do movement and be present at the same time? Well, to me, that's the definition of yoga.
What I understand when you're telling this is that it's good to make a stop in a way to get conscious about what is moving, and afterwards maybe you can be from another way present and moving.
Very, very good. Very good. Yeah, I love that. It is good to stop. And I really had to do this. I was always busy. Like I was almost in a stand of 45 degrees, always. Like with 3 young children, and a whole house that had to be renovated and doing the household, doing everything. Basically, that's what I felt. I was always making plans, being in the future. And I really had to stop many, many times a day. I had to find a system to make myself stop many, many times a day to just feel what is moving me. And do I like what is moving me? You are moved the whole day by things that you're not aware of. And if you want to move powerfully in life, you have to know what moves you. And I can name a lot of things that move us, like guilt, anger, hunger, wanting or not wanting, desires, but also, what's the word? Like disgust moves us, right? It moves us immediately. Pride moves us. So emotions move us. And I don't know if you know this. Yeah, judgment. Yeah. And especially the flavor of the judgment might be very moving. Can you name a few? I have to. The have tos move us. I should. The should moves us. And you know what? All these emotions also get us stuck. This is not good enough. I almost took it personally, but yeah, you know what? There's still this person that has, is not completely open and willing to be here. And that's exactly, this is not good enough. It moves us. I'll never get there. It moves us being stuck, the feeling of stuckness. So when you never stop moving physically, you will never get present to what is moving you. And I wrote down this one and I thought it was so striking and so simple. You're too old to keep doing what isn't working. But how to find out why it isn't working? You have to find out. And the only way to find out is to be present with what's moving you. Yeah. Is that a little bit of an answer, Verena, to what you...
Yeah, it's a great answer. It gives me a lot. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you for exploring. Every time someone brings something, I get into that feeling of curiosity, which is something that I just really prefer to the thoughts and the feelings that I woke up with this morning. So this is the way. Great. Thank you. But
oh, I was not realizing my audio was already on. I hope I didn't disturb it. I was feeling very relaxed because I had some physical activity right before the session. And I had a good night rest, so I didn't fall asleep while doing this exercise, because when we do it in the evening and somebody says, close your eyes, relax, feel your body, then often I fall asleep. But now, because it's a morning session, I did not. And I enjoyed the relaxedness of my own body. And this morning, early morning, I listened to the first audio of the listening project we did again. And it made me realize that my brain is an organ producing thinking. And I noticed when I'm not, when I'm feeling constricted and I'm not feeling alive or feeling happy or feeling in a flow, the last weeks I'm using a completely different activity to just pull myself out of it. And sometimes it's physical activity, it's some exercise or some sports. Sometimes it's just a new thought activity, just go to the computer and do something else. And from the outside it looks very chaotically maybe, but from the inside it feels like a reset and not giving importance to my thinking. So I just reset my thinking, and then the chemistry inside, it changes and it gives me a new road to go on. So that was what I noticed when I was sitting with my eyes closed, just enjoying my body. While otherwise I could be annoyed because again this exercise and again this closing of eyes and again, no, just enjoy the exercise. And I remember I followed yoga classes with my mom when I was from 8 until 23. I was really annoyed in every yoga class I was sitting, but at a certain point, I remember it very well. It was a concrete beach in Croatia. We were doing yoga and it was not flat. So I was completely annoyed because I was not lying flat. It was not leveled out. And then I was thinking, what am I bugging myself with? Or stop this yoga lesson, or stop thinking and stop annoying yourself, because my mother can teach in a very eloquent way from above, with this very eloquent words, and I was completely annoyed by that. And then I said, but why are you annoying yourself? You just focus on your own body. And that's when I got it, that you can be completely constricted in your thought game and in your thinking. And I started using breakouts of my own thinking, like this morning. So I enjoyed it. And then I
Thank
opened
you.
my eyes and I all saw these serious faces and I perceived them as serious.
Okay. And so what was your reaction?
To the serious perceiving of the serious faces, yeah, I didn't mind. I started looking at the hairstyles and backgrounds and yeah, and making animals of people's faces, like a squirrel and rabbit. And I'm not saying which of is which.
That's a
No,
good antidote when you're arguing, right? To look at someone's face and like, oh, what does he look like?
yeah.
Looks like a rabbit, looks like a, what is this animal?
I stopped imagining people naked 10 years ago.
That's a good one too. Yeah. Okay, anyone else? Thank you, Bart. Vicky?
I first want to say I'm sorry I was late. I did not forget, but I forgot that the time here is different. And then Cindy said, "Oh, I can't find the link." And I was, "Oh my God, so I was really stressed out when I got here. So yeah, I was not relaxed. And the exercise, yeah, it was a bit stressy. Normally I can do it better. But Verena, I was not sitting still, so you were not the only one. I still feel stressed. I know it will take me more time to feel relaxed about it, but exercises like we did just now, it makes my muscles relax a lot. So I feel always very heavy, like everything is very heavy, like you do it in yoga, the last part of the yoga session where you have to relax. It's a bit the same. So on that point, my muscles are more relaxed, but my stomach is like, ooh, like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I just remembered when Ruth opened up the sharing that when she brought attention to this spaciousness and the expansion, that it grew bigger. So what happens when you go to your stomach with this heaviness that you feel in your muscles?
But
Do it now. Yeah,
the
do it
heavy,
now.
the heaviness is being relaxed, like, but my stomach, it's yeah, it feels like a proper paper, like a ball of paper that's tight.
That's a very nice description. Yeah. Yeah. So, and what happens when you go with your attention to your stomach?
It loosens a bit, but not a great deal.
Okay. Stay with it loosens a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay there. And leave out all the rest. You get it?
Yes, I get it.
That's how your mind bites its own tail. Yeah. And this happens a lot, Vicky, with all of us. That's what human beings do. Yeah, Christine, I know. And yes, I know. We all do that. And sometimes even when we think we don't do that, we're already doing it. Yeah. So yeah, it's just staying in that moment. Like the moment you think about it, you have an opinion about it, you're already out of being present. Yeah, that's very valuable, Vicky. Thank you. Christine.
Yes, this exercise, I know it. And I'm really happy you did it, Esther, because it helps me. And what I noticed is that that first, when I go inside, it gets worse. So I'm not so feeling fine today. And I had my throat really like this. And at first, when I put my attention inside, it gets worse. And I'm so afraid of that feeling, to feel it, because it's so hurtful.
Stop for a moment. Yeah. Because all the words that you use are somehow triggering it again, right? Do you feel
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think.
And just notice it. So I'm really acknowledging you for being present at the moment while you're going through this, a lot of emotions, a lot of energy in motion. Can you just be present to the energy in motion? And it's like all flavors, right? Without judging it, without saying it's not so good, it's not fine, it doesn't feel good. It's just it is. It's like the slope that Bart was, the concrete slope that he was invited to relax on. This is not how it is supposed to be. This is not what I want. And just see like the unusefulness of this thought. Because this is what it is now. And it doesn't mean anything. It's just you observing that. Even your tears, water coming out of your eyes. You know that it's very interesting. Supposedly, I'm not sure, I'm not completely 100% sure, but a scientist told me that we are the only animal on planet Earth that cries because we feel something. We cry because of an emotion. We are the only animals on planet Earth. And like there are several animals that, lose something that looks like tears, but that's for a different use. It's not related to emotions. Just become very interested in that. Oh, look at that. Interesting. Okay, so go on with your share and really choose the words from this place. Like, oh, interesting. What is going on right now when I'm sharing? When you said, and it does, thank you because this helps. In the word, this helps, it already was triggered.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's good because it tells you that you need help with this.
Yes, I was trying to share what happened. So I went back to what happened in the beginning, and then it was triggered again.
Yeah.
Okay, I can continue what happened. So at first it got worse, okay, and then I got a bit more openness when I pictured the helicopter and pictured myself sitting in the room. I could take some distance so that, and then I watch myself going up and then again in the feeling, and like that, all that, like several times, telling to myself, no, stay up, watch yourself from a distance. And I was always going up and down, and then at the end it faded, it's a bit like what Vicky said, I think. Like the ball of paper that was here, that it's loosened. So that was good, and I tried to stay with the loosening, but I was impatient and I said, no, it's not loose enough yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then
It's
it
not going
got
quick
tricky
enough.
again, and I need more time. And no, this exercise, I think I need half an hour to make it work, because it always
Yes.
work. And then I noticed my tendency to be focused on the result. Does it work? Does it not work? And then I just slap myself again. No, Christine, you don't have to do that. You don't have to get focused on the result, even if it doesn't work. Do the exercise. And I have dialogue with myself all the time, like slapping myself. No, you don't have to do that. And that's a lot of resistance, like um, a lot of the shoulds. You should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't cry, for instance. And then
Yeah, and then you're completely gone, right? Because then the whole judgment about yourself becomes complete. Now,
yeah.
zoom out at this moment because it's already there, because it takes you there. Can you recognize that? When you talk about it, it takes you there and you're fully in. And there's no difference, like there's no distance between you as an observer and being aware and the experience. And you know that. And you also know that this is a pattern. It's exactly that pattern. I want you to rewind a little bit. And there was this moment that you said, then I come from this perspective and then I go down again. And then, oh, I go in there again. So I go back to that perspective of the helicopter, then fall down again, go up, fall down, go up, fall down. I want you to be present to that because that's what it looks like. I don't want you to get anywhere else than where you are. And where you are is this game of I am now being in this perspective. Oh shit, I'm falling down again. Being in this perspective. Shit, I'm falling it down again. What's happening? That is happening. It is exactly, it's the slippery slope that Bart was invited to do Shavasana on and be relaxed. He was totally not relaxed. He didn't accept the slope. You have to accept that this is the game now for you. And it's not because you are a beginner or you are stupid. It is just the game. I have that almost every day. And sometimes I don't have it. And sometimes it feels like a sword fight, or how would you call those, the d'Artagnans. And you have a sword fight with that. You want to be there, but it doesn't get you anywhere. No, it's that. So can you rewind and tell me again what happened? I got into that helicopter view perspective and then I got down again. Just rehearse that for yourself in your mind. Oh, that's something I can be present to.
Yes, but it's because I have resistance to the going down. I'm just afraid of the going down.
Yeah. Oh,
I
interesting.
resist it.
I have resistance of going down. That's what's
Not
happening.
like be curious, like, oh, how come does it happen? Funny or interesting? I just said, no, I don't want this. I'm just crying. No, not again. I don't want this. That's what happens.
I just said something that I wrote down this morning and just really see what happens. You are too old to keep doing what isn't working. What isn't working is going in your mind and having this conversation about you. So be present to, oh, I'm doing again what is not working, having conversations with my mind, which means that you're not having the conversation anymore. You're just observing, having the conversation. That is a big difference.
Mhm.
Can you do that? And I know it's a big pattern and it's there for some reason. We're going to talk about that in person, right? And for now, I can just tell you that it's a pattern, but it's not you. Stay present to what is. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Right? Even if it's like really feeling sorry for yourself. Oh, look, I'm feeling sorry for myself. Yes, I damn right I'm feeling sorry for myself. And I have all the reasons for it. Oh, wow, I'm getting upset even, like really stay present to everything you're doing, everything you're witnessing.
Without judging it then, just observing.
What happens when you go into the judging?
Yeah, it gets worse.
Yeah, you go into the judging.
Mhm.
And when you believe yourself about judging yourself,
Yeah.
you're judging yourself for being stupid enough to judge yourself. Yeah. That's the circle, the vicious circle. And it's like
Okay.
this. It's going down and down and down. Yeah. So when you see that, oh, I'm doing it again, really stop and be present. Don't stop doing it. You maybe can't. Oh, I can't even stop doing it. The sooner the better, because when you realize it, when you become witness to it, you're not there anymore.
Mm.
I'm so depressed. I'm totally depressed. Really? Are you totally depressed? Yes, I'm totally depressed. 100%. So you are totally 100% depressed. Yeah. I feel totally 100% depressed. All of you? Yes, all of me. So who is witnessing that it's all of you? Do you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I want to be depressed because I have all the reasons to be depressed. Well, a depressed person would never say that, because he would say, like, I don't feel anything anymore, right? It's just a statement. It's just a way of finding a way to survive, to handle whatever is here while believing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay present.
Okay, thank you.
Did anybody get anything out of this? Yeah. Yeah. Like someone that finds or that judges himself or herself for being a failure can be the best example ever. So we can be the best, the greatest failure and actually succeed. Isn't that lovely? Like, it's just all is well, everything is taken care of. So you're too old to keep doing what isn't working. Just write that one down, because it is true. It doesn't mean that you will stop doing what isn't working. It doesn't mean that. You will still do what isn't working, because that is what a human being does. We're human beings. We do that all the time for no reason whatsoever. Anybody wants to share anything out of this? Verena.
I just want to share. I'm very happy, Christine, that you shared it. I'm a lot with what you shared, and I also recognize it. I don't understand completely what Esther say, but I can feel that it's some beginning in understanding something, what I'm not understanding yet. So thank you.
Thank you. That's
Sharing.
great.
Mm.
And that also brings something, right? It's like You know, this I just find this so, and I'm going to tell you a little bit in a moment about why I'm doing this. But just these little drops, you know, we are making a dessert or a soup or some sort of meal that we can all feed on for the rest of the day. And it's just a little drop, maybe. What does it mean to be a human being? And how do we make this life a beautiful experience with whatever comes? Yeah, thank you, Verena. But
Yeah, something came in when you said doing what isn't working. And the thought was, who says it's not working? Like, we see it and perceive it as something that does not work and constricts us and makes us angry and sad. But who says it is not divine working in the making? Like something new coming out of that we cannot imagine that was even possible. So it's always working. And to me, I often use the word arrogance towards myself for judging it as not working, because who am I with my little mind thinking it's not working while I cannot even imagine what would come from that? And it's kind of like, then it becomes a no-brainer to see it as it's always working, how miserable it looks. And it can sound harsh when you're completely into the emotion. I love that, by the way, energy and motion.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's always comforting to me to see, to realize, and it becomes like a very tasty thing in the height of argument and fight. It's not working. Why isn't she doing what I am saying? And then realizing that, well, maybe you never know what comes out of it, or not even in this life if you believe in other lives, but it's always working. Something.
Yeah, and what I also hear about is we are actually, I used to think like, who designed us like this? You know, this isn't working. Like low and high and low and high and more lows than highs. But actually, it is a perfect design, right? Because our feeling tells us that whatever is happening and how we feel about it, what we think about it, is not in alignment with maybe who we are, what we want from life. So it's not the feeling that is bad, or that we feel bad is something that should go away. It is telling us something. So I always say that what Sydney Banks said, the wisdom is in a good feeling, but there's a lot of wisdom in feelings. And we handle them as problems when they don't feel right, when they don't feel good. Yeah, so that's what came up when you shared. And I also love that energy in motion is the energy of all. Your sadness, your anger, your disappointment, your the feeling you have when you judge someone else or yourself. All these feelings we call emotions are the energy of all moving through us. So if we just stay present to what it maybe tells us, we don't understand this language, but we can understand it. And the way we handle this is a distortion that we created growing up. And I don't know what happened when you were young, but we all had emotions, and they were bursting out of us, right? It was just like on or off, you know, like nothing in between. That's how you are when you're a little kid. And the way that people addressed it, or were attuned to it, or reacted to it, responded to it, has created our judgments about them. Christine.
Yes, something came up when you said the wisdom is in the good feeling, which is also telling me the other way around, that if you're not a good feeling, you're not wise, or you're just stupid. And that's something that, the polarities that trigger me. If I don't feel good, it means I'm not good, or I'm not wise, or I'm just doing it wrong.
This is interesting, right? This is interesting because the quote is, the wisdom is in the good feeling. And that's an invitation to, what does it mean for you? You know, what does it mean to you? The wisdom is in the good feeling. And to me, it means that if I feel good about something, that it's in line with what I want, or who I am, who I want to be in the world. Yeah. And your mind is, and maybe you're not the only one, but your mind is reading it backwards when there's a bad feeling.
Mm-hmm.
The wisdom is also in the bad feeling. There is either wisdom, or there is no wisdom in you. There is always wisdom, but either you are connected to the wisdom or you're not. And when you read it the other way around, it's a trick of your mind to tell you something that doesn't actually make you feel good. You are stupid. Well,
Yeah.
I'm asking you, just ask yourself and tell me, really, 100%, are you stupid? Did you find your way into this session? Because if you are stupid, you wouldn't be here. Did you know how to put on clothes this morning? Yes. If you would be stupid, you wouldn't have been fully clothed in a nice color also. That's not like a sack that you just wore, you know? It's something that you chose. Saying that you're stupid, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel happy? Yeah, I am stupid. Now I know who I am. What comes up? Is there resistance?
Mm-hmm.
You don't believe it.
Yeah, it's a contradiction between what your intellect is saying and what you're feeling. I know I'm not stupid, but I feel stupid.
Yeah, you feel stupid. How does it make you feel?
Yeah, bad.
Bad. If it makes you feel bad, it means that maybe it's not true.
Mhm.
It's that simple. But there is a reason why you tell yourself you're stupid. And you can find the reason, and you can look for the why, and you can look at why this and how this and when this thought came into your mind. But it's not the wisdom. You can be busy with that, but you can also ask yourself, really, do I really think I'm stupid? No, of course not. So there's also a payoff to say to yourself, I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
But I don't find that so interesting anymore. You know, I just see like, oh yeah, that's what my mind does, turning it around and then saying like, I'm so fascinated by this contrast. No, you're not fascinated. You just don't want to feel stupid. That's all. Because it's not true. And otherwise, I want you to bring evidence in the next session that you're really stupid. Can you? This immediately brings up something, right? Bring evidence next time that you're stupid. We all want to see that you're really right and that it's true.
Yeah, the evidence is already there. I'm still crying. I'm still doing this after I don't know how many years. So the evidence is there.
That's not stupid. That is what they call self-opposed insanity. You're just doing things over and over and over and over again, and you know you don't have to do that, but you're still doing it, and it doesn't work, and you know, and you still do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not learning.
It's a stupid thing to do, but
Yeah.
you're not stupid.
Mm.
Because otherwise you wouldn't see it. You would just do it over and over and over again. But the fact that you feel bad about it and you think like, when is this going to stop? Here I am again crying and blah, blah, blah. The fact that you don't feel good about it means that you know that it's not in line with who you are. Really, stop it. My mind is stupid, not me. Your mind creates stupid thoughts. Your mind is not even stupid. No. But there are just really stupid thoughts in your mind. And also, when I ask you, okay, what are we going to eat tonight? And do you have all the stuff in your house? You know that your mind works because you're going to get it in the store and you're going to cook it, or you're going to ask someone else to cook it. So your mind is working. It's not stupid. There are also some stupid thoughts in there, and they were put there without your consent. It makes you angry that they're there because they were there without your consent. Because you believed them when you were little, and you still believe them. Crystal.
Yeah, during this last conversation, I noticed that I was really in the first time a fight with my thoughts about what is right, and the wisdom about the wisdom, and there are different sort of wisdom. I said to my mind.
You said to your mind.
Yes.
Who was the you that said that?
It's not me. But for me, it's helping when I look at it at that and I see it as a different person. Maybe that sounds stupid, but
No, it's not stupid. Well, you remember our alien story. That was my
yeah,
way of...
and it helped me a lot to bring my thoughts back to where it belong, and to say that is old stuff. I want to have new ones, and I don't get rid of it. It will be always there, but that sort of relativation is coming up, and that is really helping them to say, okay, and yeah, that came up in the discussion.
Great. I love the simplicity of it. Oh, I don't want that old stuff anymore. I want new, fresh stuff. Yeah. And life is presenting you with all sorts of fresh and new stuff, or just same situations to handle with different thoughts, fresh thoughts.
Yeah, and what helps is not, how do you say it, handle it with arguments of a fighting modus, what I did before. I don't want it to have them. I want to get rid of all those thoughts. And now I can be really funny with that more and more. I can say, okay, you're there again. I don't like you. And yeah, it's fade away. There is a little awareness, and then I say, okay, wait, and yeah, it's like, how do you say it? Getting the garbage. It's useful because that's the wisdom that you said. There is also wisdom in the bad things because you can learn it's popping up. Surely when things are coming back and back and back. But on the other hand, it gives me also more aliveness to say, okay, I noticed it and I put you there with the garbage, right?
Oh, and then it comes back again.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it has legs, right?
Sometimes and it says another. It comes back in another thought form, or
Yeah.
and it pops up when I'm not aware, and
it comes in different disguises.
Yeah.
And it's always tempting you. And before you know it, you've swallowed it down. Yeah. One again.
And maybe I still want to get rid of it, and I'm how do you say I go away from it because I don't want to see it.
You avoid
don't want
it.
to feel
Yeah.
it. It can be, yeah. It shall be.
someone told me a story I really liked, and it's so without meaning, but I could see myself doing it. And I always think of it when I'm in the train or in the bus. When someone else is traveling me, you know, when I don't have to ride the car. Because when you're behind the wheels, it is different because you're doing something to move. But when you are carried, or when you are moved, and now we're back to the beginning again, this guy told me a simple story of just being on the bus. You hop on the bus, you sit, and you look, you know, and you see this old lady with a stick and a little dog, and she has a gray coat on. And then you see this young mom with a red coat and two children, and they have, one is wearing slippers and the other one is wearing a pair of boots, yellow boots, rain boots. You know, and I'm just trying to describe, like, okay, this is only 10 meters, you know, and you see these things. The whole bus ride, you see stuff, all sorts of stuff, and you see different stuff than your neighbor or the friend that you're with. But you also see a lot of stuff you don't see. There's also a lot of stuff you don't see, like most of it. What do? Do you actively ignore that other stuff? Do you turn your head? Do you have to turn your head to not see it? Do you have to tell yourself, don't look at that? No. Do you have to let go? No. Do you have to close your eyes or keep you from opening them? No. There is just what you see. And in what you see during the day, that tells you something about what your mind is focusing on. And everybody knows that, right? When you're trying to get pregnant, and it's been 2 years now, you see pregnant women everywhere. You see children everywhere. My mom, when she lost my dad 13 years ago, she looked at all these old people that were having a nice time walking together, you know, having a long walk, or going for shopping, just arm in arm. And she was without. She only saw these people, pairs, couples. She doesn't do it. She doesn't see that now. She looks different into the world. Your life is like that bus ride. You know, you're on that bus ride, you look outside, and what you see is what you see. And when you become interested in, oh, interesting, what I see today, or what I always see, you know. And you know what was interesting yesterday? I said to Bart, every time we go to Holland, when we go to the Netherlands, and yesterday we were in Maastricht because my two youngest children study there. And I love the city. It's a nice city to, like it has a village atmosphere. It has a human size, and I like that. And also I like the beauty of it, how they make everything beautiful, like little pots and plants and things hanging in the tree, and it's just every corner there's something nice to see. And I was talking about how I live in an environment where people look like they don't mind how it looks. Well, when it's neat, like it's, proper or proper. And I come to really hate that word because proper is to me something that is not very alluring and not emitting beauty. And I value that very much. So I was complaining about, I live in this area and I don't really like it. This was never my choice, and if I would be able to live in this sort of atmosphere. And then I said, even I realized that looking at Bart was different too when I'm in the Netherlands. I think he looks softer. He is even nicer. What comes out of his mouth is even nicer.
Sorry.
No. I love the laughing. All the silence, when you're on my end, you crave for that. So I love it. So he became more handsome even, So I thought, wow. So if we would go to live in the Netherlands, I would have a nicer husband. No, because then he asked me, like, how did you feel when you lived in the Netherlands? Because I lived for about almost all my life in the Netherlands, different places. I wasn't always happy. Like most of the times I was still the same as I am now. And I lived in the most beautiful place on earth in Australia, at the beach. I sat every day under palm trees. It was a beach that was on the list of the World Heritage List, It's not for nothing that it happens. I felt miserable. And then I went back to Holland and I felt miserable. For 2 years, I looked outside my window. I thought, I want to be in Australia. It's crazy what we do. And it's not that when I look outside on that side of the road, on that side of the house, that I think, oh, wow, what a nice street. I love it. No, I hate it. I want to have trees there and nature, and it looks horrible. But I love the other side. And when I feel good, I'm more focused on that side, on the good side. When I feel bad, I really resonate with the street and I hear every car that is passing. And when someone comes here and they say like, oh, you live in a busy street, I really get upset. So it's what we focus on. And we cannot not focus on things. We can be present to what we focus on and not attached to that. Because it tells us something. Yeah, just a minute. I am totally, and this is something that's why I'm doing this actually. This is if you come to these sessions, I'm exploring more of what I bring into the course that I just presented, the Joy Living project. I'm trying to live into that and from that paradigm, and it takes practice and it takes questions from you to really sharpen my mind, to not focus on the problems too much, to not focus on the content of the story too much, to be completely present to the possibilities of everything, no matter the circumstance, to be free no matter the circumstance, to create, to be powerful no matter the circumstance. So for me, this is an opportunity to create circumstances and to connect with other people. Because I miss that. But to be frank, I miss that in Holland too. Deep connection. So Rut, you wanted to share something.
What you said about focusing and that you cannot choose. I don't know how, I don't remember how you what words you chose or used, but what came up for me was that I can be aware of what I'm focusing on, and I can, where I have the feeling that I can deliberately choose my or change my focus. That I can, yeah. When I'm aware of what I'm focusing on, I can go in another direction, or I can, and it depends on how I feel or what state I am in, how easy it is to change it. Yeah, that's what came up.
It brings me back to what is moving you when you say that.
Mm-hmm.
When you become aware of what you're focusing on, you become aware of what drives you.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't ask to focus on some things, you just focused on it. And sometimes there's this, or sometimes it's a language. What are you focusing on? And you can become aware of it and then stop what is moving you into that direction of your focus if you don't like it. You can just stop. And maybe the movement is still there because you are moved. But when you become aware, you can focus on something else. But most of the times you can just open up to focus on something else. Just open up to the next thing. Because I find that easier, because when I say I have to focus on something else, the have to is
Mm-hmm.
already bringing intention. And I have to focus means that I'm focusing on something else then. And then I'm back
Yeah,
again.
that's the opposite direction it takes you to, but it's more that or looking for what the things I like, or I
Yeah,
can,
that could be a way, like what
yeah.
Bart just said, and how does it, what would make me feel alive right now? Just go
Mm-hmm.
outside. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also be, that can also be a trick
Mm-hmm.
when it's just a way of getting out of that rut of thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's also very interesting to see what moves you and to become present of that. Because you might feel better and then you come inside when you've been out and doing stuff, and then you come inside, but the focus is still the same, could be still the same. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's very important to, you say, I have to focus on something else, that both the have to and the something else just points back to where you are, or actually where you still are. And then it becomes this fight. And then just become present of that fight. And then you're out of it. Oh, interesting. It looks like I'm fighting the whole day. Interesting. So I want to end this call for today. I would love for you to write back to me, or to maybe just give a quick word on what you got out of it. Because I really have this vision of, this way of seeing things and this way of working with your mind, and not identifying with your thoughts and your feelings, knowing the difference, knowing what moves you, and how you want to direct and navigate through life powerfully, from ownership, not from a victim standpoint, and really seeing where you still do that. I think this is empowering everybody. And I have this vision of putting this into the world, of bringing this into the world, but I cannot do this alone. So my first question is, if you know anyone that would be interested in this, please invite them. And not only that, it is very good practice for you. And that was actually my first inclination to talk about this, but it's going to be for the next time. Who are you when you talk about this? What do you feel? What do you notice? When you take the opportunity to listen to people and to see what is missing in their perspective when people complain about circumstances or people, when people complain about their disempowerment, about, yeah, it is just so, it is the way it is. Be completely resigned, to the point of really almost giving up. How do you listen to these people? Do they still frustrate you and irritate you? Then you listen from the same point of view. You are your thinking and you are your feeling. But when you listen from this different perspective, a new paradigm, understanding what minds do, then life becomes truly fascinating and interesting. And everybody is actually interesting. You listen to people differently. So how are you in this world with this, what you got out of it, with this new vision? Maybe you haven't made that complete shift to the new paradigm and what it means to you, but there is a way to practice, and that way is being courageously open towards other people and find opportunities to have conversations from this perspective rather than the old paradigm. And it also sharpens your instruments, your tools. And it happens automatically. And I'm hoping that this will create a ripple effect. I'm still there. The butterfly experiment from maybe even 3 years ago. I'm still there. And next time it's about relationships. So these sessions are also to explore how can we create a bigger community and have an interesting joy living about relationships. And what is the impact on your life and on the people around you? And I cannot do that alone. I can do it, but if it stops with you, it doesn't make sense. And I even invite, and this is for the bigger community, I even invite people that think, I can do this too, and I can do this better, to connect with me. And I am totally willing to give you everything I have so you can start your own community. Because this is not about me. This is about a bigger vision. So thank you for watching. Please reach out. And I know you all were in the Joy Living Project. So I am going to call you and have a conversation about what you got out of not this, but the whole project. and let's see how we can what's that, it was something that one of my coaches said to me: a rising tide lifts all boats. And I love that, and it becomes effortless, and I love that swell also. So thank you. Rut, do you want to close off for the last 30 seconds?
Well, I just have a question about 1 plus D and 2103. Is that a person? Or do you see that one?
No.
I have a 1 plus D and 2103.
Isn't that the board like last time? No, it few sessions ago, the board like
Yes, you are right. And you know what? I have this setting in the background that says people without camera, I don't see, because I did a presentation yesterday. And now is the end. I wish actually that someone would have told me, because I don't see that person. So maybe you can, I don't know, quickly put on your camera and to see that you're actually a person. Because I also know that if you're not, familiar with this sort of things, that it might feel scary to join in a Zoom session. But it's also not very safe when people come in and don't present themselves as human beings.
It is not a person, Esther. I think it's the second ID you made on Zoom from.
No.
Yeah, let's check it out after the session.
Yeah, I'll check it
Look,
out.
something is changing.
Something is changing.
Someone, I think the
Yeah, I've made a request to start the video, or to maybe say something. And there is someone in the waiting room now, just coming in. And I'm just, you can all leave if you want to, because it's the end of the session, and and I'll ask, and yeah, because this is the end of the session, right?
Did you record it?
I recorded it. Yes. Would you like to have the recording?
There is a chat message.
There's a chat message, yeah.
Okay, great.
Angelique, okay.
Angelique, okay. So Angelique, reach out if you find this interesting, and maybe you heard the last bit of it. Yeah, it's good to know that you're a human being. Thank you. Okay. I do this every 2 weeks or so. Maybe sometimes not, but I'll reach out through email, and otherwise reach out yourself if you think like, hey, I've missed a few, or I missed a one, and if you find this interesting. Thank you for coming. Bye.